Good morning. I am here today with Arundhati Roy, the author of An Ordinary Person's Guide to Empire. Arundhati, how are you?
Very good, Price. How are you this morning?
Great, thanks. Now, if I'm correct, this is the second volume of your collected non-fiction writings, specifically 14 essays.
Yes, exactly.
So how exactly do these essays tie the idea of empire through seemingly unconnected arenas?
Well, an empire is a collaboration of many ideas, and I focus on all of them through my 14 essays. One of them being, of course, one of the major ones is the corruption of media.
And would that be geographically in the United States, in India, where you're from?
In my essays, I mostly cover the United States and India, and also the United States and how it converts to Pakistan and Afghanistan.
So this is about foreign policy in the United States.
Exactly. Here's an example. There's a quote from George Bush where he says, "If you're not with us, you're a terrorist." And of course, Fox News put that on all the time during his presidency.
Right.
To tell the American public that, well, we better support the American idea of war on terror.
Right.
So that they can go in there, kill Saddam Hussein, take apart Al-Qaeda, bring democracy to Afghanistan and Pakistan, and get revenge for 9/11.
Right, now you're using a lot of air quotes, and that leads me to believe that this book is challenging some of those.
Even though I am currently living in New York City, my book has many views that many would call un-American, such as George Bush. I have many anti-George Bush ideas. I'm neither Democratic or Republican. I share my own views because I tend to portray myself as a global idealist.
So this book is a lot of your own opinions on international politics and foreign affairs.
Exactly. So if you're interested in these subjects, it's a book for you, but they're very tough and sometimes very controversial. In many places, such as the news, which is all news owned by News Corp, or the internet in general, I am dubbed as controversial.
And that's interesting that you mentioned News Corp, because that's actually a subject of one or two of these essays, isn't it?
Yeah.
About how the power affects the way messages are delivered to the people of a nation such as the United States.
News Corp owns 34% of all media in the United States.
Is that online media, print media?
Every media, because
oh wow.
Most news corporations, I believe Fox, if my facts are still correct, is part of News Corp, and of course they have an internet website and other things like that.
Other marketing campaigns.
Of course, yes.
Right.
So
this is very much about the transition, kind of like playing telephone, going from the government to large corporations to news broadcast sites and television shows to the American people. How does the message change from what the government says to what's brought down all the way down to the average American?
Well, something as little as a whisper for the government could turn into a huge predicament for the public because the media explodes it. Because the government or the corporations that the government has paid, that's my idea, are exploiting that so they can go on the government's side.
Right.
Such as the war on terror, which I've already explained as one of my subjects.
Right. So these essays are really talking about the way a message can be changed and manipulated by people in a position of power to create a desired reaction from the people of the United States. Okay. So in this book you have a series of short essays, and while some of them cover politics, specifically in the United States, some of them also talk about murder and ethics surrounding murder. Would you like to share a couple words with us about that?
Yes, it's not exactly a big idea on murder itself, like the act. It's more of the ethics around it, as you mentioned. So, because I am facing the aspect of the war on terror, all the innocent lives that are killed due to airstrikes and terrorist attacks. And when I talk about murder, I speak of it as a cowardly way of revenge, when we could easily use it intellectually, as I did with this book. This book is a collaboration of my ideas versus many governmental actions, not just the US, but India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Russia. There are countless mistakes created by the government. And instead of going out there killing people, innocent people, I wrote a book about it instead.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for sharing your ideas with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. An Ordinary Person's Guide to Empire by Arundhati Roy is now available online at Amazon and at your local bookstore. Check it out.